Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tea Time with me, Amanda Prochaska. I am so excited to be talking to you all today about resistance and persistence and welcoming the new year and being a little bit more like a buffalo. So, hence the nice teacup today. And so, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. As I mentioned, the tea today is a cup of cheer, which is great. It's a lovely cup of tea. But the focus of today is more about the teacup itself. And it is a buffalo from
Grand Teton. So there's a story behind this and why I'm mentioning the buffalo today. And I don't know if you all have ever heard of the being like a buffalo, being more like like a buffalo. And it's hard to explain, but there's a story behind it that I want to share with you today, and it's all about persistence.
When we think about heading into a new year, persistence is a good thing to be focusing on because we're setting goals for ourselves. We're setting those New Year's resolutions, and it's good to know a little bit more about being like a buffalo. So what do I mean by that?
First off, we need to understand cows, which is kind of a funny place to start, but let's start there. So when there is a storm brewing in the plains of the United States, cows actually get really terrified of these storms coming, and they feel them coming. And what cows do is they start trying to run away from the storm. And so that what happens is as the storm's coming in, the cows start running away, and the storm eventually catches up with the cows, because cows, if you know anything about cows, they're not very fast. So the storm catches up with the cows, and then the cows start running basically with the storm, right? So they keep on running and running and running and running, and they stay in the storm the whole time. It's exhausting for a cow. And but that is their nature. So
when we think about the buffalo, though, the buffalo reacts in a very, very different way. And what happens to them is they see the storm rolling in, and then as a herd, they run towards the storm, because if they know that they're running towards the storm, they're going to run this way. The storm's coming this way, and guess what happens? They run through the storm, and the storm passes by, and they're through without any harm. And it takes a lot of less effort. They pass through the storm so much more quickly. And so sometimes, and I share this story because sometimes people feel like resistance is what the cow's doing. They're running with the storm, and they're exhausting themselves, and they're trying to get through it, but they keep on just running with the storm. Whereas sometimes when we are feeling scared or feeling anxious or not sure what to do, we actually become a cow. We start not thinking through how we can attack the issue, but maybe we procrastinate and make things harder on ourselves. So when we think about 2024, I would encourage you guys to be a little bit more like the buffalo, like here. We saw a lot of buffalo up in Grand Teton. If you haven't been to Grand Teton, it's an amazing place to be. But as you think about how to be smart in 2024, there's something about being like the buffalo, like attacking your problems head on. Don't procrastinate. Run through that storm as quickly as you can, and make sure that you're not running with the storm. So I'm going to tell a personal story about what happened a little bit to me in 2023. So we were doing a lot of work on the business this year. So Wonder Services is the company that I am the proud founder of, and we made a lot of investments into the business this year. But at times I felt like, geez, the economy's not that great. We're not getting, we had actually quite a few projects and you guys experience this all the time, probably leading change, but there's a project that's planned and poof, it's gone. We're no longer going to do it, or we're going to do something else instead, or we're going to do something else next year. So there was a lot of that going on in 2023. And yet I was very passionate about investing into the company because I knew it was the right thing. It was the right time for the company. But man, oh man, it was like walking a tightrope. And there were certain things in the company where I was like, you know what? I just don't want to look at it because I'm too afraid. I don't really want to go there. And so I didn't. I just stopped looking at certain things related to the business. And that was like the worst thing that I could have done because I was scared. I didn't want to tackle it head on. I didn't want to be a buffalo. I was very much a cow over the last year when it came to certain things in the business. And I don't want that to happen to you.
So when you think about your New Year's resolutions, which I actually don't necessarily believe in New Year's resolutions, but I know a lot of people do. And so as you're considering how you are heading into January, February, March, and even the rest of the year, it's really important to think about what's really scaring you. For me, for a long time, it's been my weight loss. And I know a lot of people think about their health at the beginning of the year, especially after all of those holiday goodies that we eat all the time. But if you think about, let's just use weight loss as an example, since I brought it up. A lot of people do that anyway. So being a cow looks like this. I am going to lose 25 pounds this year, period. But what does that make you feel like? Does that really reduce your fears of losing that weight? Because it is a fear. Like there's different things that you're going to need to do in your life. There's going to be exercise that maybe doesn't feel comfortable. There's going to be a lot of different things that are going on in your head that by telling yourself that you need to lose 25 pounds means that you're basically telling yourself that you're unhealthy and you're fat. Okay. So that's a very cow type of an approach to your goal setting and New Year's resolutions. However, if you're going to be more like a buffalo, the goal sounds like this. I am already healthy. I am a healthy human being. I want to be healthier in the new year, and I want to do everything that I can to have that healthy lifestyle that I've so long in my life. What a positive reflection that is. Can you see the difference? I hope you can see and feel the difference in that. So by telling yourself that you already are healthy, guess what's going to happen? You're going to treat yourself like you're healthy. You are going to do what you need to do to make the right choices and overcome those fears because you are a healthy person. You might not be treating yourself as a healthy person today because of all of the lies and the fears that you've had in the past. But if you start saying, you know what, I am healthy. I'm going to treat myself like a healthy person moving forward. The fun part about this, like I'll share a little bit again about my personal experience, but my husband and I started on this journey about a month and a half ago now, where we started carnivore diet. And I've struggled with weight loss in particularly, but here's the thing, it wasn't that really. It was like just this general feeling of being unhealthy and my body not feeling energized. And so we changed our ways. We ran into that storm. We knew it could help us. And we've been successfully doing carnivore over the last month and a half. And I will tell you what, my energy is up. My health is up. My resting heartbeat is down. The scale is looking better, but that isn't even close to the benefits. I'm getting up before my alarm clock in the morning. It has been an absolutely incredible journey. So another example of being more like a buffalo in your New Year's resolutions, in your goals, not just at the holiday season, but all year long. Let's really think about how we can be more like a buffalo.
Now, how does this apply to change leadership? I mean, a lot of what we talk about on this channel is all about change leadership. And there are kind of two things that come to mind. One is the natural human state reaction to change, to fear. Just like the cows, you're probably going to have a lot of people in your organization that are going to not want to hear what you have to say. They see the storm coming and they're going to try to start running away from the storm, unfortunately, that storm's going to catch up to them, and they're going to be exhausted at the end of the day. And we see this a lot in corporate America today, where people, leaders of change, but also people in your organizations are really feeling exhausted with the rate of change that's going on these days. So think about it more like a buffalo and help encourage your people to be more like buffaloes. Like, we're going to run through this storm together as a pack, like the buffaloes do. I don't even know what a pack of buffaloes is. I'm probably saying that wrong, but a group of buffaloes, and they're running towards the storm instead of trying to outrun the storm. And this can really be reflected in all kinds of different things. And I'm going to give you an example that comes up really often in change leadership, especially when it's impacting people's roles. Leaders tend to try to put it under the rug, if you will. They're like, yeah, that's going to be a tough one to communicate. We don't want people to freak out. And so we're just not going to say anything. We're just not going to communicate anything. And that's going to be the best thing, because then we'll just tell them at the end, and, it'll be all done and everything. So that's very, again, a cow behavior, because we're kind of trying to run away from the storm instead of running into the storm and being like, you know what, as a leader, I know that this is going to impact people's livelihoods, and I'm going to try to be as transparent as I can be about what we're doing and how we're going to go about doing it, and how we're going to inform people so they can be prepared for the change, even if it does have an impact on people's roles. It's such a refreshing thing to see leaders when they do that, because you know what happens if they don't? People get more afraid, they get anxious, but they ultimately make up their own stories. And typically those stories aren't positive for most people when they're in that situation. They're fearing the most horrible situation that could be out there when it comes to change. And so they start running faster, right? Trying to run away from that storm. They're thinking, that storm is going to get me. I am not going to have a job any longer. I am not going to be able to provide a livelihood for my family. What am I going to do? How am I going to get through that? And if you were just a little bit more transparent as a change leader, they can prepare themselves a little bit better, and you can keep the cohesiveness of the team intact so you can run towards that storm and hopefully get through it faster emotionally and physically for a lot of people. I mean, it has a physical toll, change does, on people's well-being and their overall stress levels, et cetera. So that's how, when I think about how we can apply persistence to change leadership, I think we should be thinking about how do we get our organization to be more like the buffalo? How do we stay together as an organization through this change? How do we face it head on with a very transparent way so that we can make sure that our people in our organizations are trying not to outpace the change and exhaust themselves? So a lot in this video. I hope you enjoyed it today. I know I'm enjoying my tea and the story of the buffalo. It's a great thing to reflect on at this time of year, both personally and as a change leader. And so we're so thrilled that you can be here with us today. And what I will tell you is that
I really enjoy making these videos, and I hope that they're helpful for you. But on wonderservices.net, you can find all kinds of other videos that I've done, webinars, podcasts. We also have blogs that come out every single week. Or every single month. Man, I wish I could do it every single week, but maybe we'll get there. But every month we have a blog that comes out that's related to change management, change leadership. We do all of this to help you become a better change leader and also help your teams through change, because ultimately in corporate America, change is not slowing down, and we need to make sure that each and every one of you, when you're charged with leadership of a change, that you feel well equipped and that you can be successful not only for yourself and the initiative and the company, but for your people around you. So until next time, cheers. keep your tea going and your coffee going, and we will see you next time.